Bitch, for sure. Listen to the mind of an Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna break down what exactly is MK Ultra Mind Control. What exactly is it? Because I know a lot of people do research on it, and then a lot of people want to jump up and fight against it. But what people don't understand is the actual tools that you're using, that you're planning to use to fight against whatever you think you're fighting against, is the same tool. If you understand what I'm saying, the wrench you're about to use to fix a problem, that wrench was created by the same people that you're going to try to fight. So when we think about MK Ultra Mind Control, this goes down all the way to the degree of if you live in a city and you have a government, and if this government create certain systems and create certain plans to see how they play out within the landscape, that's a small vibrational form of MK Ultra Mind Control. Because they're putting things out there for y'all to feed on, and then they're using y'all to decipher if it's a good or bad thing according to business. And we know everything is business in this realm of reality. So that's what you need to understand. So MK Ultra Mind Control is going on every day, from a high vibrational level to a low vibrational level. Now here's the thing. In each space, aka in each location, each landmass, you need to understand you are the economy. Every time you turn on the news, they say that the economy fucked up, this, that, and the third. What they're trying to say is you fucked up. So, in some way, shape, and form, each location, we're supposed to come together as a community in order to orchestrate how we run things based upon our community. But it's not like that. What you have is a governmental system that aligns certain people in certain positions to play out certain characteristics that's being played in all the cities. You see what I'm saying? So then we have to justify things. So when mayors and things of that nature feel the actual energy signature that they're supposed to feel when the city wants something done, that when something ain't getting done, then that's when they have to justify or comply from the overall picture of being a government and trying to be a government in a specific location or a specific city. So they bouncing back and forth where it's not supposed to be like that. The government is supposed to 100% be for that location. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that. You have government and you have people placed in positions in your cities that's correlating the same string of events that's not only just placed in your location, but every location amongst who control your landmass, aka your country. So, it goes deep when we talk about MK Ultra Mind Control. Even breaking down to the TV shows that you watch. They throw certain TV shows out there to see how people react. They do certain things to the foods to see how you guys react. Even go as far as they set up certain events to see how you guys react. So everything is a form. Just like with this XXX case, there's a lot of MK Ultra Mind Control going on within this case, because there's a lot of people handling the news in a very poor way, and there's a lot of characters that play into this in a lot of ways that's not supposed to be played out. So now it's starting to look like narratives and agendas is being pushed out. And anytime your spirit feel the energy signature of something else being present other than the direct message, like when you get a direct message, when you feel other influences coming from it, that's a reason. It's a reason for that. And if it wasn't no reason for that, you will be a person who will never be able to decipher when someone have alternative motives around you, or someone else got other intentions. A person could play and say and act a certain way, but you would never be able to decipher a person's true intentions if you don't understand what I'm saying. So, there's a form of MK Ultra Mind Control always going on. So people need to understand that from when you watching news, you watching your news channels, there's always agendas and there's always motives being pushed out. This is why when you go to court and there's always needing to be a motive. You know what I'm saying? So motive is tied to Mars. So Mars is in cahoots with Saturn. So, you need to understand that anything that you get into is a form of MK Ultra mind control. Now, they have it on very small degrees, very large degrees. So, in some way, shape, or form, for you to not be wrapped up in any form of MK Ultra mind control, what you need to do is be tapped in and relating to your imagination. Be more correlated to your dreams. Be more correlated to yourself, your internal realm. Therefore, these external things don't affect you to the point that these external things become your internal realm. And you become to over excessively dream about these things, or over excessively have these things on your mind, or over excessively have these things constructing the way you act during the day. You letting these things calculate what you should do or what you shouldn't do throughout the day. So what you need to understand is that's how you don't be wrapped up in any MK Ultra. Because, for an example, there's things placed in the society that was here that preceded you. So if you want to participate, of course you're going to have to align yourself or jump rope. But understanding what it is, because a lot of people, that's why I started the video off the way I started it off. You got people who are wrapped up into MK Ultra mind control right now, but they do a little research on it and feel the need that they need to get up and fight against it, not knowing that it's something that they're doing every day, even on a small battle, even on a small part of the war field. So, the battlefield. So, even just, you need to know, even if you got a favorite show, know what it is. Look at the energy signature that it's pushing out. And then you will be able to understand why it's so popular or why it's not so popular. So regardless of the shapes and forms or whatever the show or whatever the plot is, long as you understand the energy signature that's being pushed behind it, you will know why it's popular and know why it's not. For an example, you got things like Love and Hip Hop, right? So let's say Love and Hip Hop is popular. Now, being lost in MK Ultra mind control is being lost into the actual characters that's playing. Even though that they're real people, they're stars in a cast playing a role that's positioned into a program. And you know a program has to be downloaded. So this is your software. So if you're watching a program, you're always downloading that program to your software. And if your software already too cluttered and you ain't even got a lot of space, your software is not going to run effectively. So you need to keep that in mind also. Don't be adding and downloading too much bullshit to your software, and learn when to go delete sometimes. But when we talk about Love and Hip Hop, being lost into the MK Ultra mind control aspect of it is being lost into the aspect of the cast. So there may be certain people on there that certain people gravitate towards, because what's the lady name? Nina, whatever the lady that created that shit, she wouldn't have picked certain people if they wasn't gravitating certain attention. So, you know what I'm saying? What's going on here is she's picking certain people, right? That's going to bring a certain amount of attention. Now, for the most part, the MK mind control is when you get lost into each person's personality, each star. Then you get lost into what this star is going through, and the situations and circumstances and obstacles that this star has to overcome. And you know what I'm saying? And then you get lost into that aspect to the point that you start picking sides, you start getting emotionally attached, and therefore they get to see if this kind of energy in the world is getting a lot of source to be added, more resources, aka to add more shows about stuff like that, or if it's not. And if it's not gravitating no attention. And then based upon this information, this allow the CIA, or this allow certain government or certain occult groups that's in power to sit back and kind of construct what they want to create based upon what they know y'all going to react to. So they know how to create what they want to create based upon what all of y'all react to and how y'all respond to things. Because we live in a world, this is the earth realm. Earth realm is tied to the feminine energy. The feminine energy is dealing with magnetism. Magnetism is dealing with attraction. Attraction is dealing with reaction. This is why you breathe in and you deal with the internal realm first in this realm. So when we talk about reaction, that is how we give our source. That's how we push our source out. When we react, we push off our energy that we reacted to. So they are able to analyze these things and see what caused the most reactions, and able to formulate a certain show or a movie or an event or something like that that can happen in the world. And due to how they know y'all going to react, that's what's going to help them create the shape and form of what they're trying to create or what they're trying to present in this realm of reality. So you have to keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you get lost. Now, here's how you don't get lost in the MK mind control, and say you still like Love and Hip Hop, right? You're able to watch the show, but whatever circumstances happening, whatever favorite character you like that's playing that role, you're able to, when the show go off, you're able to be like, man, that shit was cool as hell. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about neither one of them. And therefore, you don't let that blocks them words act as a firmament after a while. And it blocks any type of thing that can attach to you. So when you go places, you're super unbiased. When you have conversations with other people, you come from an unbiased place. You will even listen to a person you talking to and hear them getting lost into the characters and their situations. And you're able to sit back like, listen, man, I'm not picking sides or anything. I just see the situation like this. So you're able to even talk about the show episodes better than this person, because this person don't even got clairvoyance, because they lost into a small vibrational version of the MK mind ultra control. You see what I'm saying? So you're able to sit yourself aside, and you're able to sit back and be like, all right, I think I'm talking too much about this show. I don't even care this much about it. And you're able to do shit like that too. And you're able to add on if you want to, as you please. It's like you're able to jump in and out of realms as you please when you're not controlled under MK Ultra shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the benefit and gift it give you. So therefore, you never find yourself in a situation of having to retract something. You never find yourself being in a situation you felt like you needed to erase something out of, like a text or something out of your life, or regret a conversation that you have, because coming from this nature, you could go back on all your past situations and still be able to accept it. Like, be like, well, even though I didn't know all the details, I didn't say nothing that might bite me in the ass later on. Like, whatever I said still can apply to now. I just got a little bit more information of the situation. Now, you see what I'm saying? You will never be in a circumstance or situation where you have to retract or restate something or rethink something when you're not under any shape or form of MK Ultra mind control. And I just let you know how deep it goes. So it goes into the education. It goes into every walk of life. Anytime you have something, another person in authority over what should be taught or learned in that realm of reality, whatever it is, whether it's a job, education, learning how to do this, that, and the third, it is a form of MK Ultra mind control, because you did not add to that aspect. You did not add to that concept. You see what I'm saying? You're just working for that concept, aka planting seeds in other people's farms, aka living out somebody else's dreams and imaginations. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to keep that in mind, that you're not doing that. This is why astrology is the most purest thing, because it is not a system. It's something that everybody can do themselves. You got systems out here that's dealing with astrology, but everybody go out and look at the sun. Everybody go out and look at the moon. Everybody correlate their day. Just living in a day. Everybody is doing a form of astrology. So everybody live their day in their own way. Everybody live their life in their own way. Everybody is perceiving the external world in their own way. Everybody is doing astrology in their own way. So you see what I'm saying? That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you wake up in the morning and be like, oh, 6 o'clock is in the morning, what the fuck you think you talking about? You're talking about the sun being out in a Pacific space at a Pacific time. And that Pacific space and that location, that carries a vortex of something that you're supposed to do at that Pacific time. Or something you didn't got lost in following that star. But at the same time, what you think that is? Now, you might not want to call it astrology, but that's on you. But regardless of the words being used for things, we need to understand that the energy signature that's back and supporting it. And the energy signature that's back and supporting this astrology is just knowledge of the stars, or being aware of your surroundings, being aware of shapes and forms and bodies outside of you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the more you learn about your surroundings, the more knowledge you gain. Knowledge is newness. Wisdom is oldness. And you need to bring these two together in order to have truth. So your wisdom, you can have wisdom, but wisdom come from old experiences. You see what I'm saying? So you can have, the more experiences you went through, the more wisdom you have. But if you get stubborn and lost in your wisdom on that side of the podium, then you're gonna look at some new thing that come and look at it like it's nothing. When really this is knowledge. Knowledge is always renewal, new. This is why new come together. You see what I'm saying? And wise goes together. But so you could be a wizard, you could be too wise and out of this realm. But you need knowledge. That's new information. So, you know what I'm saying? And a knowledgeable person, a lot of times, you could be too knowledgeable and never receive wisdom. So you try to receive all this information, all this knowledge, but you never hone in on none of it and never truly experience it for yourself. So it end up not being wisdom. It end up just being knowledge. So you end up being a robot. So you got to bring the right and left brain together. Have wisdom and knowledge, bring these two together, and then you will be a person who have truth. Because you'll be a person who have experiences and be a person who understand had to have knowledge within these experiences. And then when new knowledge come, you're able to have enough wisdom to understand that things always transition and change and things always come renewal. So it goes deep. But when we talk about MK Ultra Mind Control, you're under that on all kind of levels. Just the simple fact you call gray. Just the simple fact you call red. You call yellow. Y'all, I want y'all to go watch my video about the color spectrums and things of that nature. These don't have these names, is just names we put on them. But then once we start get colors and crayons and markers and other names and things that's in layers to make us not understand what these things truly are, we're under a form of MK Ultra Mind Control. And then whoever created the name for that actual energy and how they see it, we end up looking at them as the Lord of that. So once this person die, we end up giving that thing that person's name. We got motherfucking satellites named after these motherfucking scientists and shit. Like, we got all kind of shit named. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck you think that? So red itself might have been a motherfucking person who was just using a lot of transitional energy, a lot of shifty type, transforming type energy, and that was just probably a person named Red long time ago. So now we call it a color and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not that. It's not none of that. What I'm trying to get you to understand. That's the form of MK Ultra Mind Control, to the point that you could argue with a person and the person be like, man, red is a color. It's just a crayon. It's just a marker. Other than a person who's telling you the actual energy of it. It's a shift. It's a movement. It's a transformation energy. You know what I'm saying? And then the person who's lost into an MK Ultra Mind Control will look at a person who say that red is actually a shift energy signature. They'll look at that person like you crazy and out your fucking mind. And then think about it. Think about how much of the world, which is 99% of the world, is under MK Ultra Mind Control. So just think about how many people, just think about how much this person is going to feel like a goddamn outcast. It's a goddamn shame in this world. But you know, that's what we up under. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.